Every town has its stories, the ones whispered over coffee or shared in hushed tones after a few drinks. Our story begins in one such town, a place where everyone knows everyone, and secrets are the most valuable currency. This is the story of Mark and Alina, a couple who seemed to have it all. From the outside, their life was a picture-perfect postcard, a lovely house with a white picket fence, a shared passion for gardening, and smiles that seemed permanently etched on their faces. Mark, a kind and steady architect, adored Alina. To him, she was the sun, the moon, and all the stars. He saw her as gentle, a bit shy, and utterly devoted to their quiet life together. Alina played the part beautifully. By day, she was the quintessential small-town wife. She volunteered at the local library, her laughter was light and airy, and she baked the best apple pie for the annual town fair. She was the woman everyone admired, the one other wives aspired to be and other husbands respectfully appreciated. She would walk their golden retriever, Daisy, through the park, always stopping to chat with neighbors, her eyes sparkling with what everyone assumed was pure, simple happiness. Mark would come home from work, and she'd be there, a warm meal on the table, a soft kiss for his cheek, asking about his day with genuine interest. Their evenings were quiet, filled with shared books and old movies. It was, by all accounts, a peaceful existence. But the night tells a different story. As the moon replaced the sun and the quiet of their suburban street deepened, a different Alina would begin to stir. When Mark's breathing evened out into a deep sleep, the gentle wife would disappear, and a woman consumed by a restless hunger would take her place. This transformation wasn't sudden. It was a slow burn, an invisible current running beneath the placid surface of their life. It started with small things, a secret phone she kept hidden, late-night texts that she would quickly delete. The glow of the screen would illuminate a face Mark never saw, face of longing, of excitement, of a desire for something more. This hidden world had a name, Julian. He was a photographer from the city, a man who had breezed into town for a short-term project, and saw in Alina not a gentle librarian volunteer, but a flame waiting to be fanned. They met by chance at a local gallery. He was all sharp edges and intense gazes, a stark contrast to Mark's comforting presence. He spoke of far-off places, of thrilling risks, and of a life lived without boundaries. He saw the flicker of restlessness in Alina's eyes and knew exactly how to ignite it. Their conversations, which began as innocent chats about art, quickly spiraled into something deeper, something illicit and exhilarating. So, while Mark slept soundly, dreaming of blueprints and their future together, Alina was living a double life. She would slip out of bed, her movements as silent as a cat. Some nights it was just hushed, passionate phone calls in the pantry, her voice a low whisper as she spoke of her desires. Other nights, she would invent reasons to leave the house a forgotten errand, a friend in need. She'd drive to the edge of town, to a dimly lit diner, or a secluded lookout point where Julian would be waiting. In his car, under the cloak of darkness, the demure wife vanished completely. She was passionate, adventurous, and reckless, everything she couldn't be in her sunlit life. The thrill was intoxicating. Each stolen kiss, each secret rendezvous, was a jolt of electricity that made her feel alive in a way she hadn't in years. She loved Mark, or at least, she loved the security and comfort he provided. But she was addicted to the danger Julian represented. He was her escape from the predictability, from the quiet hum of a life she had chosen but now felt trapped by. She was juggling two worlds, convinced she could keep them separate. By day, she would tend to her garden, her hands in the soil, the picture of domestic tranquility. But as dusk fell, her thoughts would drift to Julian, and the hunger for her other life would begin to gnaw at her again. Mark wasn't oblivious, not entirely. He was a man who noticed details. He started to see the small changes. The way Alina would jump when her second phone, the one he didn't know about, vibrated in her purse. The faint, unfamiliar scent of a different cologne on her clothes when she came home late. The new ferrofluck in her eyes, as if she were seeing a world he wasn't a part of. He tried to talk to her, to bridge the growing distance between them. He'd ask if she was happy, if something was wrong. But Alina would just smile that practiced, gentle smile and reassure him. "Don't be silly, darling," she'd say. "I've never been happier." And she would play her part so well that Mark would push his doubts away, blaming his own work stress for his anxieties. He chose to believe the woman in front of him, the one who made his house a home. He couldn't bring himself to imagine that the night held a version of his wife he didn't know at all. This delicate balance, however, is a fragile thing. Secrets, like cracks in a dam, have a way of spreading. The weight of her two lives was beginning to take its toll on Alina. The lies were becoming more complex, the excuses more elaborate. The thrill was slowly being replaced by a constant humming anxiety. One evening, Mark came home early, hoping to surprise her. He found the house empty. A little worried, he called her phone. No answer. He waited. Hours passed. When Alina finally walked in, her explanation of a friend's car trouble sounded flimsy, her eyes unable to meet his. In that moment, Mark saw it, the crack in the facade. It wasn't just a suspicion anymore. It was a cold, hard certainty that the life he believed in was built on a foundation of lies. The storybook romance was over, and the painful truth of who Alina became when the sun went down was about to come into the light, shattering their picture-perfect world for good. What happens next is a testament to the fact that even in the quietest towns, the most devastating storms can be brewing just beneath the surface. This story isn't about placing blame, but about understanding the complexities of the human heart and the hidden desires that can drive us. It's a reminder that what we see on the surface is often just one chapter of a much larger, more complicated book. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you found this story compelling, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more tales that explore the hidden corners of human nature. We'll see you next time.